Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. We are very happy to see the room full like that. We will talk about UI pattern 2 today. And I am Pierre. I'm from Paris.
Hello, I'm Christian from Munich.
So let's start.
Let's start.
Have you noticed the difference between the contrib space for module and for team? For module, we have so many modules, and those modules have so much installation. We can publish modules, we can share them, we can use in many different business constraints, in many different websites and projects. But when we are talking about team, there is only a few of them. They are not very installed. And most of the most popular of admin theme. So what is happening?
So we think that the problem of theming right now is that there are three reasons for. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So we think there are three reasons for the we have to address to have more themes in Drupal. So we think the first problem is that the templates are coupled with the business model. So every content type has its own teaser, its own template, and inside this template we have markup, and then inside this markup we have fields connected to the Drupal business model. So if you want to reuse your layout, you have to copy your content type, your template. And the second problem we think is that we have too much code inside the theme. So preprocess functions probably, and theme suggestions and a lot of custom code inside your theme, which is also coupled to your business logic. So, and the third problem we think is that the theming is not done like other parts in Drupal. So it's not configured like views or other things, because you can configure your theme in many different ways. And of course, you have manage display and so on, but you can also do stuff in preprocesses or inside your Twig template. So there is no configuration where everything is configured and is part of your Git configuration. So we have no reusable Twig templates because they are related to business logic. We have complex stuff inside your theme, like preprocess functions and so on. And actually, we have a poor site building experience because everybody can do like he wants. I think we need. Oh, sorry. I think we need components. And probably components like cards and other stuff. They will help us to have a single point of truth of our markup. So to copy our Twig template, we can use components for this. And the good news is we have now components in Core. Since Drupal 10.1, we have single directory components, and we think they are really brilliant. They are really well defined, and well done. And with components, we don't have any more preprocesses and other stuff. So we think it's absolutely the right step in the right direction. So, but is SDC fixing all the three issues I mentioned here?
It seems so. It's reusable, it's front developer friendly. There is no so much Drupalism and crazy stuff. It's a well-defined API, so something we can load. It's a plugin we can load in Drupal. So it's a solution. Not really. Because SDC is good, but having something good, a good addition, is not removing the bad stuff automatically. This is classic theming. This is theming before SDC. We were doing the app, the business app, with config and with back development, and then we were theming what the app was producing, the template. And then those templates have all the issues told by Christian. With the current situation, with SDC, yes, we have the reusable components. They are beautiful, they are useful, they are great. But we still have the bad part at the middle. We still have those templates we want to avoid. They change a bit. Now, they don't have markup anymore. They became what we call presenter template. A presenter template is a template with doing a proxy between the Drupal API and your SDC component. A presenter template has only a twig call, twig include, twig embed, anything, a twig call to the component template. So who is using SDC right now in the room? Oh, yeah, 20 people. Who is doing SDC this way? 15. So 70% of you are doing this way. I'm not sure you are happy about this way because you got the goodness of SDC, but you didn't remove the weirdness of the Drupal theming. And these kind of things are happening. Olivero is shipped with one SDC component called teaser. And this SDC component is used by the teaser of node article. Wonderful. SDC. We want SDC. So we are happy. But if I go to the display of this teaser, if I change the order of the field, and if I change the settings of my formatter, I have no difference in my result. So I have a gap between what I'm building and what I'm seeing. Who is guilty? You know. He is guilty. This is the presenter template. Because he's creating the problem between SDC and Drupal. So what we propose with pattern 2 is to skip the middleman. So we have the classic theming, we have the current SDC theming, better, not great, better. And what we want is to remove those templates and plug directly the SDC component to the Drupal app, leveraging the display building ability. We have many display builders in Drupal. We have to use them with SDC component. So UI pattern 2 is here. If you upload now, I'm waiting for after the demo what we will get. So UI pattern 2 was a complicating things to do. We will tell you about that. But UI pattern 2 is a very simple idea. We have the display builder on the right. Block layout, layout builder, manage display, views. There is also contrib solution from Drupal contrib. There is also CK editor 5 with kind of display builder on its own. Those display builders, what they need to work are plugin, configurable plugins. They need blocks, layout, field formatter, view style, and view rows. So what we do is we load all the SDC components, we transform them into configurable plugins, all of them, and now they are available in the display builders.
So now we show you a live demo of UI patterns. For this we use Daisy UI from Michael here in the front. Yeah. And so what you will show you are 4 components, and we will place these 4 components in 4 places in Drupal. So we will start with a button component. We will place this as a block, a very simple use case. Then the second use case is probably the most common use case. We we add a card to an article content type. The third use case is a badge with a field formatter, also inside the card component. And the last one, we use a grid inside the view, inside views, Drupal views. Before I begin, I will have a short explanation about components. Components are there are slots and props, and every prop is something like a configuration of the component, and every slot is where the data comes in. So in every slot you put a renderable array. In props you can configure the way you want to render your component or want to behave your component. So you see a Drupal. You see a installed Drupal with your patterns enabled, and I already added to content. First of all, I will enable the new theme. Let's do this first. And I select the theme. So then I will show you the two contents I created, that you can see what we have. Where's my mouse? Here is it. So with two articles, Paris and Barcelona, you see they have three fields. One is the title, the image field, the body, and some text. Okay. So now to the first use case, to place a button. We go to block layout, placing the block, and as you can see here, all the components provided by Daisy UI are a block inside Drupal now. And what we want to do is the button component. It takes a while because the theme is already first time installed. So you can see here, you can select the variant you want. We take a primary variant here. We place a label. And now you can see every property which is provided by the SDC component. And here you can configure your component. For example, we make it a bit wider. And we do an outline. I will move it to the top. Save it. And you can see your button component here on the top. So to the second use case, we create a teaser for our article component. We go to content types. Let's say manage display here. We will use the layout builder. So I will remove the default behavior from the layout builder here. And now, as you can see here on the left, every component is also layout. So we transform every component into a layout so you can use them in layout builder. I will place the card component, and as you can see here, you have the same component here. The same properties here as in the blocks before. We also select a variant here, a default variant, and we choosing, for example, a higher headline level, a lower headline level, and we adding our component here. And you can see every slot in our component is a block in layout builder. First I will add an image here. So we use our image, we use an image style, we remove the label, don't forget this. And you can see you have a real preview of your component right now. Then we add the title. And now, last but not least, I add the body. I use a different formatter here because I don't want that it's so long. Add this. And for now we are done. Let's look at Paris. Oh. So now we want to render our batches, our text in the bottom of the card component as batches. And I will show you how this works. Content types. Our card component has our action slot here in the bottom. I will add it here. I will select the tags. And now the field formatter come into play. We have two new field formatters. One component field formatter, which actually puts all items into the selected component. Or we have component per item field formatter, where we can apply one component for each item in our multi-value field set. In our case, we use the first one because we want to render our batches in our tags in batches. So each tag has one batch component. I select batch here. And as you can see, we have also here variants. I take the secondary here. And we have slots and props here. So our batch component has also a slot, the label slot. And we want to add the taxonomy label inside this label. For this, we nest our field formatters. So we add a new field formatter here. And do the label here. And also we make it a bit smaller. Edit here. Let's save. Let's go to Paris, and you see. So the last part of the demo is we use views to display our card components in a list. So I create a new view. Create a page. Disable the pager for now. And I select here default view mode because this is what I did before. And now we have another display configuration here, a view style, and we have also for views a style component and a rows component. And for now we use the style component here, and we also select our component. In this case, we use a grid component. I add the views rows to the items in the grid call. And I also configure the gap here. Let's do 2 rem. That's 4 now. Default is 4. So let's it's up here. I switched it. Switch back.
Okay. Thank you, Christian. It was wonderful. I know this, and every time I'm always very happy to see it. How did we do that? How did we do this magic? Because we are not the only one leveraging SDC component, but we are covering everything from Drupal core in a very consistent way and a very powerful way. So how we do that? First, because of us. It's UI pattern 2, so there is a UI pattern 1. And UI pattern 1 is the whole module. It was built in 2016. It was released in January 2017. It's 8 years old. UI pattern 1 was built during the early Drupal 8 lifecycle. And Dries did a tweet about us 7 years ago. So it's a very old module. So we took all the experience, all the 8 years of experience of UI pattern 1 to build UI pattern 2. The main difference is now we are using SDC, so we can benefit from all the ecosystem of SDC. UI pattern 1 now, it's the number 1 UI component module in Drupal. We are nearly at 6,000. It's growing fast, so I hope we will reach 6,000 soon. And we are now in 1.6, 1.7% of the Drupal 8, 9, 10, 11 installation. So it's pretty popular. Who is using UI pattern 1 here? Oh, I'm so happy. And UI pattern 2? Okay, that's why you came, because you need to discover. So it's 1 year of work. We started September last year, just after the release of SDC in Drupal 10.1. And we were a big team, so people came, people went, but it was a big team, and we worked very hard to provide you that. Now, we are around 5 people working on it. So Christian and us, that's why we are here. But there is also Michael here. Thank you, Michael. Michael is working a lot. If we have on time, it will be thanks to him. And also we have some QA tester. So we have Florent in the room, Michael in the room, and Tom maybe in the room. I didn't see him, but so thank you, the QA tester too. It's very valuable. No, but really, how did you do that? Because human people, is great, but code, we want the code. So the technical explanation. You know about that. We want to go from component to display builders. There is 3 main tasks. The first one is we did annotation, so we override the SDC loading to annotate component prop with some types. Why types? I will explain you in 10 seconds. 2, we are converting the component to plugins. I think now you understand. And 3, we are building a form experience for each component, and we are processing the data from the display builder to the renderable. So, those prop types. If you know JSON schema, you know JSON schema already have types. Why do we need prop types? It's because we want to add some magic, some logic into the typing. We want to add some behavior. If it's this type, I want to do this. So we are scanning the JSON schema of each prop, and we are guessing the prop type plugin corresponding. And it's a plugin system, so you can add your own prop type to your projects. Prop type are used to find sources. Sources are small plugins where we take data and send to the prop or the slot. So thanks to the typing of the props, we can propose to the contributor or the distributor the best sources we can find. Some sources are very simple. You fill the data, checkbox for Boolean, that's all, and you go, and the data is coming. Some sources, they go to Drupal API. So for example, URL, it's just you fill an URL, simple. But if you do the menu source for the links is a prop type, you can pick the menu you want and configure it. Some sources also are context sensitive. That's why you are able to take the view rows from a view, because we know it's the current view. Another example, if you want to add a block plugin into a slot, you have a full block picker and configurator. So
we think problem is solved. So we have now a no-code solution to map any data in Drupal to any component tree without preprocessors or any code. And we think that's really a big improvement for productivity and also for a developer workflow, we think. And I think it fills a gap in Drupal, because in Drupal we have everywhere site building where we can do all our stuff with clicks and with a UI and with configuration in the end, but we can't do this in the theming layer. So with UI patterns, we really can configure everything. So we exactly know where something is applied. So where comes the variable from? So we don't need preprocessors or something like this anymore. And we are ready. So we released yesterday beta 3. It's feature freeze for this version now. We think it really works well right now. So we tested it a lot, and we really think it works great. And we only adding tests and improving the performance right now. So, but feel free to try it out. To try it. Oops. You forget the point. And your pattern works with nearly every component if the components inside this theme are well defined. I didn't update the power.
So this was UI pattern 2.0. So we are in beta 3. Beta 4 is coming in 1 month. It will be the last beta. We do RC, no bug, stable. We are on track. But we want more. We are already planning 2.1 with library improvement. We didn't see the library, but I can do specific demo if you want. Config migration path for all the 6,000 users of UI pattern 1. They will have a way of migrating 80% of the configuration from 1 to 2. So they can enjoy UI pattern 2 faster. Integration with CK Editor 5. This is a big deal because it's a new display builder. Of course, it's a WYSIWYG editor, but for us, it's a display builder. We are building a display. We will do render on it. So we will work on this integration. And a lot of little features for power users. Now we cover the most of the needs, but we know some of you have very specific needs, and they are coming in 2.1. So that's great, but that's only a part of it, because design systems are not only components. Of course, when I think myself about design system, I will think about a card, about a button, about a toast, and I'm sure it's your case too. But really, components are only the most visible part. A web design system has also style utilities and helpers to alter the renderables, layout and grid system, who are not always components. There is a theme, mode, like for example, accessibility, dark, branding. There is variable on build time with token, on runtime with CSS variable. There is icon packs. There is examples, very important examples, and more. A web design system can have a lot of artifacts. So addressing only the component will be limiting. We need more than UI pattern. And we have more. Because us, UI Suite community, we are providing 5 modules total. And 4 of those modules are plugged into the Drupal API as UI pattern is. So we can do the same kind of demo for the other artifact. So we use UI pattern 2 for component and the layout ecosystem. Not exactly the same, but it works. We have UI styles for the helper and utilities. We have UI skin for the team mode and CSS variable. And UI icon for the icon packs. So if you enjoy UI pattern and you want to extend your design implementation, we can provide you. So it's a full, coherent, consistent vision. Our idea is to have team you can share between projects. Our idea is if you remove all the business, all the custom, all the application state from a Drupal team, you can publish it in Contrib. So we will have a new generation of Drupal theme, but also you can share it in your project for the same client of the same brand, for example, and save a lot of time. And we love that. And the front developer loves that because it's pure design implementation. You have nearly no Drupalism. SDC has removed most of the Drupalism from component. I think you noticed. But with the other UI suite module, we remove all the Drupalism from the other part of the theme. So it's pure design and still buddy friendly. So you can join us. We are around 20 recurrent contributors active. Last year, we got 100 contributors total. Some people come, some people go, but 100. We have a Slack channel, and we have a table in the contribution room. We have 2 tables, one specific to SDC and one for all UI suite. And if you enjoy the Christian demo, if you enjoy the presentation, if you want to know more, we can do a demo. If you already have SDC component, we can do a demo with your own component and see how you can play with them with UI pattern. We can talk after, we can talk in the contribution room, we can have a drink tonight or this week. Please contact us.
Is there any way to constrain the patterns that you can use in specific purpose? For instance, I assume we use if you want to use the carousel as a layout, it wouldn't work, I assume. So in any kind of place where you have a list of components that you want to use, then some of them might work and others might not work because they need specific type of slots for the data to go in, right?
When I saw you, I knew. It will be the question. So we are display builder agnostic, and we are experience agnostic. The only experience we are providing is the component form. You will get the block layout experience. You will get the views experience. You will get the layout builder experience, because we are only providing plugins to them. So if you want to constrain, you have to use already existing tools to constrain. For layout builder, for example, there is layout builder restriction. When we will provide CK editor, they will have the filter configuration, and it will work. So we are just taking all the components, transforming all of them, and we are counting on the display builder to manage them.
Okay. So right now you could choose a component that wouldn't work, but maybe I think maybe they could be based analyzing the slots and then the slot type. Do they have slot types, or is every slot the same?
The good news is theoretically it cannot work, but it always works because the slot system is a very powerful system. And when you see SDC component broken, most of the time is because they didn't use the slot system. There is maybe people are a bit shy about slots right now. When I audit SDC team, I see they prefer to use props. So maybe that's the reason why it's broken.
The carousel, is it the slot where all the slides go in? Or?
Yeah, but if your DSM is well done, normally you can put anything in this slot.
Okay.
Hey guys, great work and thank you for all the work you're doing. A couple of questions. First off, I noticed that Radix compatibility was around 91%. What's wrong with it? Can you share one thing?
I don't. I did that for 15 country theme and maybe 5 client projects. So I don't remember what about Radix specifically.
But we should share at least. You know.
Yeah, I think I created an issue. I'm always creating an issue. Maybe it's not up to date. I need to have a look. But I will give you the usual answer. So underuse of slot of overlooked a lot. So the component author tried to send too much in a string prop, but it sends some markup. So you need to act on the renderable into the slot, and it's very complicated, and you have side effect. Wrong JSON schema. It's crazy how much SDC component have mistake in JSON schema. I did an audit of a very popular module this afternoon. There is maybe 10 components where the JSON schema is not even right. And also some weird logic on the twig. I'm not talking about Radix, huh? I'm talking about in general. Weird logic on the twig. When the twig start to dig inside the renderable, the renderable properties and everything, and if you change the renderable you are injecting, you break the component.
Yeah. And the second question for me, you know, I'm probably never gonna try UI patterns in a sense because I don't want UI. You know, that's my take. You know, I am opinionated in that way. So I want to handle all of my code and the way things look in the code rather than go and configure this and place this here and change the props and slots from the UI. So I guess that's a preference in a sense. But is there any way, you know, like for instance, Radix itself, you just do it with code, everything. So practically it just tries to remove the UI part of the, well, Drupal, you know, but for this, I suppose you kind of stick to the UI all the time.
Yeah, but UI is not the deep stuff. When we are building on the UI, we are building the business part. What is wonderful with Drupal is your PHP code or your front code can be business agnostic, can be reusable, shareable, because all your business is on the config, mostly in the config entities. So if you don't like to build the UI, you can edit the config entity yourself. I'm not joking. I know it's not crazy, but I'm very serious. What we promote in UI Suite is to move the glue between front and back to the config state, to the business modeling. So of course, in Drupal, we have the habit of doing the business modeling and the config from UI. But if you want to manage it another way, if you want to generate the config entities with some processes or some internal mechanism, you can do it.
Yeah, but I'm taking too much time. We can talk more about
we
this
can talk.
later.
Thank
you. Nothing more? I'm sure.
Yeah, so at some point, if you have a bunch of patterns as templates, then you have to convert them to SDC, right?
Yeah, if you have UI pattern 1, we already provide the migration. If you install UI pattern 2 now, you will have a sub-module called UI pattern legacy, and there is a drush command, and you can transform all your UI pattern 1 component to UI pattern 2.
So you can transform the templates and everything?
No, the template is the same, because SDC template is the same as the UI pattern 1 template, but it transforms the YAML.
Yeah, okay.
It works very well.
Put them in different directories.
Put in different directory, and fields become slot, settings become props.
So it looks a lot like Experience Builder.
I knew you are so predictable, guys. Yes, it looks a lot like the Experience Builder.
So why are they making a new thing if it already exists?
Why are they making new thing?
Yeah.
Okay, the goal of Experience Builder is to provide a new display builder. There is a big issue. There is two issues with display building in Drupal. First, our tools are not good enough. Layout builder is the best, but we can do better. If you go to page layout, it's very poor. Views is a mess. So we have display builders. We have 5 of them in Drupal Core, but they are not what we can dream of. So Experience Builder will provide a better experience display builder. And second issue it will fix, it's to unify them, because today we are not having the same display building experience for the page and for the content display. So it will be nice to unify. So we are welcoming Experience Builder a lot. It's our dream. But there is another part of Experience Builder. Experience Builder is also managing SDC component itself. Experience Builder is shipped with the SDC loader who looks a bit like the UI pattern too. So when we will welcome Experience Builder in the ecosystem, we will have this kind of situation where the component will be loaded by 2 different mechanisms. The normal, for me it's normal, the UI pattern to 1 and the Experience Builder to a better one. So we have 1 year to work with Experience Builder in order to make this fit the best for the 2 projects. And I know we have a lot of code to share. We already started. We are sharing codes already. We have a lot of stuff in common we can put in Drupal Core. I hope we'll do as much as possible. And we need to cohabitate and enjoy the cohabitation.
Well, just wanted to say thank you because I'm a backend dev and has constantly talk about the front-end devs about this scheme, and they are fighting back because they see using SDCs you have to duplicate basically what you're doing already in the theme. And I also had the experience using Radix. I had the thing in Radix and then I create a new component for it, but I somehow still have to do some templating and using theme suggestions to have some atoms or some how to style it. And there was never this way to have the SDC just put in the display modes where I can just use them. There's no a gap for us how we use a site building role, because now I don't know who will be responsible for this, right? A front-end dev will say, I don't want to click in the backend. The backend dev says, I provided you the data. So the question is, who does it? This will be a...
This is a glue. This is a gray zone. It's a glue in between. Nobody wants to do because it's shit. And
no, I'm not saying that it's shit.
No, the glue. You know, the 100 line pre-process, the node the template and everything. And it's true, it's not easy to do. And if I will be a front dev, I will not want to do that. And if I will be a back dev, I will not want to do that. Yeah. So we remove that. We remove what the things people don't want to do. So the front dev can do front and the back dev can do back.
Yeah, and we have to figure out a little bit how to fit the role back in the team who's doing that. But that's a great opportunity.
Are you asking for consultancy?
Sorry?
Are you asking for consultancy?
No, just just trying to fit it in my head how we do it as a team then, but there's right now there's a clash. I can't not convince the front end devs to use this because there's the extra amount of work. They feel like it. You are going right there where I think we need it. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Maybe we can welcome you at the construction room and we can see your project. We can talk more and maybe build like a position you can share with your dev.
Yeah, sure. My opinion, it's definitely the front-end team who do this.
Yeah, it's the closest, right? But
Because they know the components and they know their design system, so
Yeah.
they actually have to manage this.
yeah, we'll happy to talk to you later about that. Thanks.
Thank you.